Welcome to my tutorial on American Mahjong Solitaire. This is not some game created by the National Mahjong League, but rather it is one I have tried to create to help people learn how to play the game. You can download instructions for this game from my Google site, which has got the same name as this one, Learn Mahjong 101. The instructions for getting there are on this slide, so I'll give you a second to go ahead and look at them. We will now go ahead and go over the rules for this game. If you have tried to find solitaire games of Mahjong online, you mostly just find matching games where you match Mahjong tiles to remove them from a layout in front of you. In this solitaire, we try to simulate the way play works in a real game. The first thing you need to do is set up your table. Just set up your National Mahjong League card in front of you and then put your rack in front of the card. Have all of the tiles from your set face down in front of you. Then draw 13 tiles and either place them on the rack or leave them face down in front of you while you finish setting up. In our illustration below, you can see what our setup might look like. After you have drawn your tiles, pick up 20 tiles at random without looking at them and place them face down on the right side of your play area. And here I have put them in a nice rack, but it really doesn't matter. You can just leave them unstacked just as long as you pull 20 of them off. These will be our dead tiles and will not be used in play. This is intended to simulate the tiles that are out of play, which other players have in their racks. Your next step is to create your initial draw pile. This will be 9 tiles, which you select at random without looking at them, and place them face down right in front of your rack. These are intended to give you a sort of a simulation of doing the Charleston. To finish your setup process, take the remaining tiles and either build them into 1 or 2 walls on your left, or as I usually do, just leave them face down on your left in a random group. We will call these tiles, whether they are in a wall or just face down randomly, as the draw pile. Once you have your table set up, you are ready to begin play. First of all, place your tiles in your rack. Arrange their tiles to help decide what hand you might play. If you are uncertain how to do this, see the tutorials part 5. Begin play by drawing a tile from the group of 9 tiles in the initial draw pile in front of you. Place that tile in your rack, decide whether it is one you might need, and then discard a tile, either the one you just drew or another one you had before. Continue drawing, placing them in your rack and discarding until all 9 tiles have been drawn and you have discarded. Once you have discarded the last tile after drawing from your initial draw pile, you will begin to draw tiles from the draw pile. In each round, the first 2 tiles will represent draws by other players. As you draw these tiles, they should be immediately turned face up on the table, not placed in your rack. Treat these tiles as if they were the other player's discards. The third time you draw, that represents your draw. Place the tile in your rack, consider it, and then discard a tile. Keeping track of where you are in this process can be a little bit tricky. So to keep track of where you are, build rows of 3 tiles face up. Of course, the first 9 tiles discarded are those resulting from your use of the initial draw pile. After that, the first 2 tiles in each row will represent the other player's discards. The third will represent your discard. If you call a tile discarded by other players, this pattern will be broken. Just as in a real game, the order of draw will change when a tile is called. So start a new row of 3 tiles with the next tile you pick from the draw pile. During play, when a tile is placed face up representing another player's discard, you may call it. Place the called tile face up on the top flat portion of your rack, along with the rest of the tiles, making up the set of 3 or more it goes with. If that call did not result in a mahjong, you would then discard a tile to the table. The next tile you pick up will start a new row of 3 tiles representing discards. Remember, to complete a mahjong, you may call a tile for a single or a pair, or as the final tile in any set and a concealed hand. This is the only time you can do these things. Play will continue in your solitaire game until either you have made a mahjong or all of the tiles in the draw pile are exhausted. What I'd like to do now is give you a chance to see what it might look like playing a game. The following video is from the middle of a game. The player has completed drawing all the initial draw pile tiles and has drawn and discarded several times for the other players and for himself. This is clear from the rows of 3 tiles in front of him. Where we join him, he has picked up tiles for both other players and placed them face up in a new row. That means it is his draw. The tile he draws will go into his rack, and either that or another tile may be discarded. Let's take a look.
At this stage, I am just in the middle of playing the game. As you can see, I have drawn 2 tiles here. So I'm going to draw a third one. This will go to mine since it's the third one. I don't need a 1 dot, so I'm just going to discard it right there and push those up. I'm now going to draw player 1. And here I would really love to have that tile, but I don't know that it's worth it for me to try to call it, because it's for a pair here. If that's the pair I'm going to use, if I wanted to do it for 3 of the kind, I could do this. So we're just going to, for example, call this right now. I'm going to call that 9 dot. Now I have to discard. So I'm going to discard my west, which I don't need. And now I'm going to start a new set of 3 because I interrupted my pattern when I called that one. No, that one was for this side. So I'm going to start again. He's going to call again, so he's going to draw a 7. I don't need that. Now drawing for the second one. I don't need that. And I draw for myself. I get a joker. Ooh, that's really lucky. I'm going to discard a 5 dot. And I'm just going to sort of slide all these up there out of the way. Now I'm going to draw the first one for the first player. Don't need that. I don't need a flower. So the third draw is for me. That's sort of interesting. I'm going to discard my 5 crack because that leaves me 2 3 bams. If I started drawing some more 3s, that would have been good before, but I've already decided to go with 9 nines. So I'm pretty much stuck with that. Starting another group of 3. I'm doing it's a 4 dot, don't need that. 5 bam, don't need that. This goes to my hand. Don't need that. A west. A joker, I can't pick it up because it's a draw for that one, and this is for me. That's 6 crack. So that's the way this game goes. I would hope I would get some more 9s or some more jokers, and then I could finish it up. So that's pretty much the way this is going to go.